I used to do a variation of cheek to cheek, quite often for magicians. It's even published in Fat Brothers 2, I believe, and called a cheeky triumph. And it has some nice little details and touches, which I think is the way you should do, well, or the way I should do cheek to cheek. And I showed this around, and Juan Tamariz, the great genius he is, was very astute in noticing that it's a very good method and well hidden, well constructed. But if I want to fool magicians, as well as lay people, it's not going to fool everyone, not all of the time, even though this is very fooling for magicians as well. And so I said, okay, well, what do you suggest? He said the parameters should be the same. You should take a deck, you know, essentially it should be a completely non-gaffed deck. And so you could basically borrow it or give it out for examination after or something. So you should take that deck, shuffle face up, face down, very cleanly, square, spread, and show that they're mixed. And now very slowly and meticulously close and immediately spread again, and they would be separated. So I went back home. This was in Madrid when I was living there. I went back home knowing Juan is going to call me in 3 days. And I was petrified. I was scared because I thought, now Juan is going to find out that I'm maybe kind of thick. I won't come up with a method for that. And as it turns out, I was able to come up with 2 different methods, of which I presented both to Juan. I had a favorite, and it turned out Juan liked the same one that I did. And I started to work on it, and I owned on that trick. I worked on it for about 5 years before actually beginning to perform with it. It had a lot of technical difficulties as well. But I'm pretty happy with it the way it is now. And, well, this is a funny side story. When I had come up with the solutions, I met Danny Daortes, and I told Danny, I have a challenge for you. So I passed on the challenge, and I said, yes, it's got to be a normal deck. You have to show that in a spread, or spread the cards and show that they're mixed, close, and they would be immediately separated without turning the deck over or any of that. And then the deck should be able to be examined as well. And then Danny, not quite having the same parameters as me, we discussed with Tamariz to do it on top of a table. It turned out to be a wonderful thing. Danny invented his open triumph, which is in the hands. It's on a vertical plane, so it's very visible. You don't need a camera for the table if you're performing for hundreds of people. He can do it quite visibly, and it looks wonderful. And he does it with a borrowed deck, and I think it's great. So, inventing tricks can be